I sort of appreciate all you guys who've stuck with me up until now. This next coming year will be more concerted effort on putting together some nice tutorials for you guys. I know that quite a few of you out there, my students included, sort of enjoy the way I teach. So I'm going to try to put that in video form, nicely edited and, cut out all the guff that I generally tend to broadcast on these streams. I'm just opening my morning mail. And I got masks. Yeah, some good ones, right? So that's kind of cool because the guys are returning to school on Monday. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? I'm not 100% convinced. I would... I'll tell you what. God's honest truth. I probably would not do it if it weren't for the fact that the curve is flattened here in the UK to pre-COVID, pre-self-isolation days, yeah. So it's not too bad. Plus the fact that, I know kids can be affected, but they're not as sort of susceptible. Let's put it this way. I'm the guy that's in the high-risk group. So having said that, I generally tend to like to listen to the World Health Organization over the politicians. And let's face it, the only reason this is happening is to get the economy going. And I get that. A lot of people are suffering, I'm quite fortunate. And in fact, you guys probably watching are quite fortunate because you've chosen a career path where it's fairly easy to sort of work from home, digital art and all this kind of stuff. A lot of my buddies at visual effects companies here in the UK and over in Canada and in game companies have made the transition relatively okay, And I'll talk a little bit about that because that sort of involves kind of how I'm going to be teaching at the university in terms of sort of blended learning and the whole offline or the whole online experience. So I'm going to dive into a drawing tutorial and we'll pick up where we left off. I'm just leaving the details up for the university because we're still recruiting. And I got to apologize. I'm not really a marketing guy and I hate kind of hammering the university. It's good though. You get an opportunity to learn from me, and I'm a pretty, I'm hard but fair. I'm easygoing. Well, let's just put it this way. In the first year, I'm easygoing, and then I slowly kind of ramp up the seriousness as you get closer and closer towards graduation, because you'll be closer and closer to applying to studios and things like that. So that's my general approach. I'll just make it kind of clear. I don't get any cash from this, or any dividends or anything like that, right? So I'm not getting paid extra from the university, which is sort of unfortunate. It's just that recruitment is down for universities all over the country, understandably so. I think higher education and universities are getting hit harder than any other industry. And as this is my regular job and regular paycheck, I'd like to bring as many people who are interested in art into the fold so that I can continue to teach animation and I can continue to teach concept art and things like that. So that's the whole reason behind it. In addition to the fact that I think some of my students can attest to, I really love passing on my knowledge. So here's why I'm very passionate about teaching, because I believe that in terms of knowledge and experience, we are all sitting on the surface of a pond. Follow me on this one. I've met a lot of people who hoard their tips or tricks or secrets with anybody. But here's what I believe. We're all sitting on the surface of the pond. And if I raise that level up, everybody else goes up. And it also pushes me up, right? So if I fill you guys with an equivalent knowledge and experience that I've had out in the industry, well, it forces me to get better, doesn't it? I got to come up with new tricks, don't I? And I love that. I love sort of having that pressure or having that push to kind of excel. So yeah, that's the whole ethos behind that. Okay, so I'm going to pop into, that's enough of that, I think, hey? So I'm going to pop back into this drawing. So a little bit of a catch-up last time in terms of where we left off. So, yeah, that's right. When I was doing the stream, I sort of lost the connection a couple of times, which was sort of annoying. I've got 35% over the last 2 minutes of dropped frames. Craziness. I'm telling you what, let me end this stream and I'll pop back in purely so the drawing. So you can skip my preamble about the university and all that kind of stuff. So I'll stop this stream and double check my bandwidth, and then we'll dive straight back into the character art. How's that sound, guys? I'll be back in